I just want to share with you a little bit about my journey to being a director with Usborne Books and maybe some tips for you to take along your journey to get here as well. So I joined with Usborne in October of 2006, and I joined just primarily to, honestly, I think it was just to really help my sister out. Like, she decided she wanted me to join, so I said, yeah, why not? I had always thought about doing direct sales. I had had many people try to convince me to do Pampered Chef and all sorts of them. And I just never really bought into it. But the kit price was good, and I liked the fact I didn't have to do anything if I didn't want to. And so I was sold. So I went to my first convention 3 years after that, and I made the decision there to promote to team leader. And I remember standing up with a friend of mine, Rachel, and we both stood up and said we were going to be leaders the next year. And I stood up, and 3 months later, I was a leader. So that was yay. That was my first time actually really achieving a goal that I had set out to. The next year I came back and I was in President's Club, and it was super exciting. So fast forward many years, and I feel like I worked my business, but I didn't really consider it a business. It was a hobby. It was totally just a hobby for me. And yay, if people want to join, great. And back then we used to have 2 recruits every 6 months. And I remember feeling so stressed because I wasn't really working my business, but like I would lead the people I had, but I didn't see it as a business. So I had this little hobby and it was fun and whatever. And I decided to get a full-time job because we needed health benefits. And when that didn't come to fruition, I decided I was going to give 1 year and I was going to work this like it was a business, 100%, give it everything I had. And that year just changed my life, and it changed our family, and it was a very cool experience. And that year I had come saying goodbye to my friends at convention. The next year I went back and I won the Achievement Award, and I had become an executive leader with the company. And back then, that was considered really rapid. That was like a quick promotion up. And so I made the decision that I wanted every single year after that to promote up a level. And I did it. And so I think the biggest tips I would give to you in your decision to want to promote to director is love your team. Love those that you're traveling on this journey with. Remember that this is not about you and you getting to being director. That's a fun perk, okay? But what is really awesome is just loving on those new leaders that are joining under you, loving on those people who are working to promote. Because when they are enjoying your journey, you're going to arrive at your destination, one of your destinations. So I really tried to spend time really focusing in on my leaders and those that would be my future leaders, and trying to let them know that I love them, that I would, I was there, I would support them, because to me, that was the most important thing. 2 is, I guess you could say, for another tip, is to not neglect your own personal business on this journey. And I know that sometimes we can focus so much on the loving on our team that our own personal businesses stop thriving. And when your personal business stops thriving, your team's business tends to sometimes look the same as yours. So what I want to suggest is make sure that every single day that the first thing you start off with your business is your own personal business. How are you growing that today? Have you booked a show? I recently was in a challenge with somebody else who we both were staring at some blank calendars. And so what we decided was, instead of being like nervous about this, we were going to book a show a day. And I did. And now I'm have a much fuller calendar, and I'm actually having an amazing month. And it was all parties. It wasn't like me hunting down a booth last minute or like, grabbing my friends to get them to do stuff. So totally work your personal business first, love on your team, and lastly, what I really wanted to encourage you to do is to totally take and embrace your journey. Totally just enjoy all the ups and the downs. There are going to be a lot of them. There's going to be challenges, and there are going to be times that you're going to feel frustrated. But work like you are a director now. Set aside time to help your team. Set aside, time to like create new trainings, stuff like that. Work like you're a director. I'm going to give you one more. Okay, so my last tip is find others to enjoy the journey with you. Find people, or ask your leader to find people who are around the same place as you, but not necessarily on your team. That was one of the greatest things I did. Is in the last 4 years, I have spent a lot of time making connections with people that were not under me, were not even in the same team as me. And those relationships are what have gotten me through the like really hard months. Because there are some times where you're gonna maybe something feels like it's falling apart. Outside perspective is always great. So I have these amazing sisters, and I truly almost they are like my sisters. They are my best friends. They're like my soulmates. Create those connections, find people, and start bouncing ideas back and forth and brainstorming with each other. It will totally change your business. Anyway, so I hope those tips helped, and I'm going to tell you, I cannot wait to see you in the Directors Facebook group, and we are so blessed to have you as part of the Usborne Books and More family.